Hello and welcome to Chapter 6, Industry Background and Research for Business Ventures, off the Introduction to Business Plan Essentials textbook. In this chapter, we're going to explore the different ways that you can gather information that is pertinent to the design, structure, and focus of your proposed business ventures. By the very end of this presentation, also when you read the textbook, the chapter, you understand how to gather data on industries, markets, and products and customers in order for you to make informed decisions about your business venture. The important key aspect is getting that background on the industry that you are launching your business in. So what we're going to do is what are the different information sources available to you? How do you gather that data? And look at the different trends and opportunities that lie within the business that you are launching in, where you're launching your business, the industry and the market behind where you're launching your business. So there's some industry research essentials that you should know and get familiar with. One of them is the NAICS codes. It's understanding these codes and how it's classified for the industry. SEC reports, the Securities and Exchange Committee reports, that is information that you can find online. What that means is the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is a government agency, is that you can understand that any company that is a publicly traded company, such as Apple, Google, Walmart, or any company that's listed on the stock market is considered a publicly traded company. They have to turn in SEC reports. And you can obtain that information online. And what you do is you can actually gain information about how that company is doing and what are they doing and what are they going to do, what are they currently trending at in terms of what their sales are, how they're doing as a company and any changes in their management. Industry insights, industry understanding the growth trends and major characteristics and customer segments in industry. And of course, you're going to be able to develop this information. Once you get this industry information, you're going to be able to gather that data to make an analysis of whether or not this industry is up on the uptick, is it stagnant, or is it on the downside. If you revisit back to your business model canvas, or if you're working on your business model canvas, this is going to really help this portion of the business model canvas, your key partners, your key activities, your value proposition, your customer relationships. It's really going to help examine these different areas that are crucial for you to complete your business model canvas. So it's important understanding industry dynamics, understanding what that is. So industry definition. Industry is a group of firms producing similar products and understanding the industry characteristics in companies and consumers. Whether there is growth opportunities, right? So industries like the electric vehicle, medical spas, and computer programming, they have potential growth opportunities. Now, industries like a restaurant industry is pretty much stagnant. It's not going to go up or down. It's pretty much stagnant. So you have to see what are the growth opportunities what are the growth opportunities of the industry that you're about to embark in, right? If you're going to industry that's on a downhill, for example, like the newspaper industry, the typical newspaper industry that you read the newspapers, that's on a decline. If you get into that market, you understand that's on a decline. So what are you going to do in order to survive in that market if it's on a decline? If it's on the uprise, you want to make sure you take advantage of the opportunity now while there is a window of opportunity for you to do so before it gets very stagnant with other players in the market. So some key industry research questions that you should look at when you're looking at industry reports, whether it's online or you go to the library and you find that information. What's the industry size? So what is the size of the industry in sales and number of firms, right? How many companies are established in that particular industry? What are the typical sales numbers for the companies in this industry? What is the trend? Again, is it growing? Is it stagnant? Or is it declining in size? So again, if you are going to get into a market that's growing, you better make sure you jump on the window of opportunity. If it's stagnant, that means it's just, again, it's not going up or down, it's just staying the same. Typically, that would be like the restaurant industry is a very good example of a stagnant industry. Declining in size, if it's something that's on the downside, again, something like the newspaper industry would be on the declining. Industry structure. Is your industry dominated by a few large firms, or is it composed of mostly smaller firms? So if you're in the restaurant industry, for example, yes, there are some big players in the game, like big conglomerates like McDonald's and other brands out there, but it's also dominated by very small restaurants. Now, if you look at an industry like the car manufacturing business, that is dominated by large players like GM and General Motors, Tesla, Chevy. So they are dominated by a few large firms. So if you go into an industry that's dominated by very few large firms, you're gonna have a very difficult time to make noise in that industry because it's very heavily dominated by very few large firms. But if you go into an industry that's composed of mostly smaller firms, it may be easier for you to get into that market. Success factors. What is the key success factors in industry? So you'll be able to look at, what are the key success factors that will make this company grow in the industry. Products and service analysis. So what are identify the major products or industries of the firm. So what are the very major products that are being sold or services that are being sold. Determine if there are dominant brands. Again, who are the dominant brands? If you go back to the previous slide of the dominant companies, right? There are brands who just dominate the industry, not meaning that you can't get into that particular market. But, if there are some brands that heavily dominate that market, you're going to have to be able to make a lot of noise to get some shares of it, or you're going to have to carve out a niche for yourself. And again, what are the product trends? Analyze new and recent trends in the products and services that are being offered. So a customer profile, you're doing four things. You're identifying the customer. So who are the customers in the industry? The second one, create a profile. What is the profile of a typical customer? Analyze their behavior. Who is buying what and when are they buying it? So you have to understand when that customer is buying it, what they're buying, when, and where. And of course, different segment markets. Identify the major market segment for specific products. The industry today has been very segmented. So for example, if you walk into a shoe store and you ask, I want to buy athletic shoes. Well, what type of athletic shoes? Do you want to buy running shoes? Do you want to buy American football shoes, soccer shoes, cross country? All these different segment markets of shoes have been going on for a number of years now. Same thing with clothing, same thing with cars. So again, you want to identify what's the different segments. So as I mentioned, the NAICS codes, the North American Industry Classification System, you can check that online, provides a basic organizing structure for market analysis and data collection. Every U.S. business is designed a code, and they're used for analyzing, collecting industry data analysis. So you can go online, you can put this on Google, and you can go to the website for free and see where does your business, where does this business fall? Where would this business fall under? The county business patterns data, the CBP, provides wages paid in various industries, so that you can see how much the wages are paid. And the important thing, of course, there are some limitations on self-employed individuals, private household employees, railroad employees. And the reason why this data is important is because you want to see how much your consumer has in purchasing power. Again, if you are designing a luxury style business where a consumer is your average consumer is making over $100,000 who has discretionary funds, you want to be able to make sure that you target these particular individuals who make that type of money in the areas that they live. It wouldn't make sense if you're selling a product that only people who make over $100,000, wouldn't make sense to sell it in areas where the people in the majority of the area do not make that type of money to buy your product. So you want to be able, you can look at that information, and of course, again, it does have limitations. The economic census data, so the US Census, who collects information every 10 years from individuals, that's another good way to get some economic data in terms of sales information, establishment, employment, and geographic breakdown. There are a number of market research firms that can provide comprehensive and analysis data, but of course, they do cost with the money. These market research firms are heavily specialized in the industry that they are focusing on, and they provide a wealth of knowledge of information. So let's go back and look at an example of our county business data for the motorcycle industry. So motorcycle dealers are classified by their NAICS code as 441221. Of course, you can look here. You can break down when you go onto the website. You'll have to break it down and go further. So the good thing about this website is that when you go onto the website, you can actually break down where you want to see your actually industry, where you're focusing on. So let's take a look at what it would look like. We'll go here into the website. And for example, you can see here the agriculture, industry, and fishing, code 11. So let's go the number of U.S. entities, so the number of companies in this. But you can see here the retail trade is very huge. And let's just look at this one because you can see the number of companies associated. So you get retail trade, right? There's the automobile dealers, automotive parts, building material, lawn and garden, and suppliers. Grocery and convenience retailers, even within them, what type of retail you're going to be? A vending machine operator, specialty food retailers. For example, let's look at the vending machine operators. Right? Say, for example, you want to sell vending machines. You can look at the vending machine operators. You can see the top businesses by annual sales. So these are the top businesses by annual sales. So these are the heavy hitters, the big players in this particular industry. And you can see here, are you a vending machine merchandiser, seller products, or are you a machine operator? So when you're looking for the specific code, this would be your specific code. Should you be the one of being a vending machine merchandiser, you're selling its product, you're selling vending machines. So you can actually let's just look at this person for this company, for example. You can see their website, how much sales they're making. It's a public company. So you can get that information from their number of locations, and you can check out their website. Again, you can do that for other industries. So you get the deal of how you can find that information, how we found that information for here. So going back to the county business pattern data, going now that you've had that and you saw the NAICS code, and we go to the county business pattern data for motorcycle dealers in the U.S. This is some old data here, but you can see here total establishments. You can see so from 2000 to 2005, there was particularly a growth in motorcycle dealers. So you can see here how much their growth, and of course you'll be able to find further their payroll information, the size established, and what their payroll increase. So first quarter and annual. So first quarter, there are 4 quarters in the year, and so they're looking here the first quarter. This is at the beginning of the year, and annually how much they made on an annual basis in terms of the company, not the employee itself, but the amount of annual revenue from that particular company or dealer, a typical motorcycle dealer. So you can see here how much a typical dealer makes. There are industry associations. Almost basically every industry has its industry association. So for example, for the motorcycle dealers, there's a motorcycle industry council. It's about $250 or so. It could be more, it could be less, and provides an annual statistical report. A lot of industries have these reports. I wouldn't suggest if you're a student, I would not suggest to go buy this report. Some of these reports can run into the thousands of dollars. And so I would suggest not to buy that report. But some of these industries that do provide these type of reports actually provide a free report. Instead of the, for example, 250-page document, they may give you 25 pages of 25 pages for free just to look at. I would suggest looking at the free one to see if what information you can gather from this particular industry. Again, basically, every single type of business that you open has some type of industry association that you can look at the information for. Now, aside from industry reports, which can run pretty expensive, there's some free or low-cost information resources. I would also look into your public library. So look at go to your public library, speak with a business librarian to see, to provide you some of the free resources. Also, if you're at a university, talk to a business librarian who can provide you with free information sources. So these are some other free or low cost information resources that you can get information from when you're doing your industry report. The Small Business Development Center National Information Clearinghouse, or SBDC Net. So it's basically the marketplace of the small business development centers in the U.S. So small business development centers promotes entrepreneurship and small business growth throughout its national network of centers. So the SBDC falls under the office of this Small Business Association, a government agency. And so what this website, this organization does is it provides timely, relevant research and web-based information to train SBDC counselors of small business clients. It also empowers entrepreneurs with business information. So you can definitely check out this website. It is public because it is from a government institution that your tax dollars pays for, so you can press on that link and get that information. Again, the bizjournals.com provides industry coverage, advice columns, and search functionality, so you can find information on your industry. Tradepublication.com, again, it's a sophisticated repository of content for professionals in over 33 industries. It has global reach, and of course, there is access to that. Now, many trade publications require a subscription, so you can get that through the online, or check your local library if they have a subscription to it, so where you can access it for free. Zapdata.com provides information on sales and marketing solutions. And so what you want to do is when you have some of the research strategies is, again, when you're finding industry reports, there's 4 things you want to do. You want to explore multiple sources. So we just went over a few of the resources that you can gather for either for free or low cost. Again, if you're a college student, I would highly suggest to go look at all the free resources available at your local library or the university library. So gather information from perhaps 3 to 4 different types of resources. Adapt to industry. Choose resources based on a specific industry of interest. Again, be flexible and synthesize the data. Once you've gathered all the data, synthesize that to develop a clear industry picture. Again, you want to grab as much information as you can. Utilize the free resources. Again, I would not suggest to buy a $3,000 report, which I've seen out there. Do not buy it. Gather as much free resource as you can. Be adapted to your approach. Be creative and reflective on your research methods and how you get that information. And always be up to date on the industry trends and opportunities that make informed business decisions. Industries is constantly changing. New technology definitely changes the industry. So be aware and be open to any new ways of the industry is changing. With AI technology, as of this recording, it is changing industry. So you want to be ahead of the curve to learn how AI or other powerful technologies such as AI is transforming the current industry that your business is in. And that takes away Chapter 6 of the Industry Background and Research, from the Introduction to Business Plan Essentials. Thank you.